I would imagine either you or Mike or both could answer this question. Akron Peninsula Road at Ira is closed.
Is it still closed?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just wondering what's going on there. Would either of you two happen to know? I guess it's the river. Is it the river bank is eroding again, or?
If I am thinking of the right one, it's in Cuyahoga Falls.
Okay.
And I thought it was closed due to flooding from one of the recent storms, but I thought it was just for that day. If it's still closed, I can reach out to Tony or Anthony and see what's going on there.
Yeah, just curious.
Yeah.
I know, weren't there some problems a few years ago with the banks
Yeah,
eroding
that was
on that very
up in
stretch of
Peninsula.
AP Road?
Yeah. The county got involved with that and moved the road over.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thanks, Heidi. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Okay, next up is 2026-131, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into a cooperative funding intergovernmental agreement with the City of New Franklin for the county's local share contribution payment in an amount not to exceed $385,000 to fund the State Route 93 Sewer Extension Project, Project Q-834-2D, located in the City of New Franklin in Council District 7 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services and declaring an emergency. Mr. Vinay.
Thank you, Chair. Michael Vinay, Department of Sanitary Sewer Services for the Executive. This has been a long-standing project. Actually, the City of New Franklin is leading this project. They have received an approximately $2.6 million federal funding package for this sanitary sewer extension. This sewer on 93 is more of a job retention and job creation extension due to all the businesses located on this stretch. This is subsequent to our previous cooperation of lifting the moratorium of flow at our Zellray wastewater treatment plant that's located in New Franklin. So that led to this. They got the federal funding in place, and we're contributing to the project because the assets will be turned over to the Department of Sanitary Sewer Services upon completion. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from members of the committee? Bethany, go ahead, Bethany. That's all right, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Will the residents and the businesses be assessed for this, and at what level?
No, there is no assessment due to the federal funding.
Okay, so it's a full coverage?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Any other questions? May I have a motion? Ms. Hyam moved on 2026-131. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And before I read 2026-132, may I have a motion to amend 2026-132? Ms. Hyam approved the motion to amend. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, I'll read the amended version of 2026-132. An amended resolution authorizing the executive to execute an agreement with the City of Norton, setting forth the scope of duties, manner of performance, and all essential terms and conditions whereby the county shall enforce Part 13 of the codified ordinances of the County of Summit entitled Building Code, which incorporates the 2019 Residential Code of Ohio and the 2014-2024 Ohio Building Code on, let me back up, we're replacing 2014 with 2024 Ohio Building Code on behalf of and within the territorial jurisdiction of the City of Norton, located in Council District 7 for the Executive Department of Sanitary Sewer Services, Division of Building Standards, and declaring an emergency. Mr. Vinay.
Thank you, Chair. I also have our Chief Building Official, Chris Randalls, with me as well today. The City of Norton has been under the jurisdiction of the City of Barberton since 2016 for building code inspection services. We have an agreement in place with the City of Barberton to act as their backup should their Chief Building Official not be available for a shorter period of time, vacation, so on and so forth. However, Barberton for the past several months has been unable to attract a Chief Building Official, which is required by state law. As such, we've been providing this primary service on a week-to-week basis in order to assist the city, both cities, and such as, since they can't get a chief building official, Norton has, through their city council, passed a resolution to enter into contract with the county. There is currently legislation in front of Barberton City Council to do the same, which would grant authority to Summit County Building Standards to provide these services to both communities. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Randall so he can kind of talk about what this is going to look like. But it's been several months of discussions and a lot of great discussion, to be honest with you, and we're looking forward to providing this service.
Thank you. Chris Randalls, Chief Building Official, Summit County Building Standards. As Mr. Vinay said, I've been working as the backup building official through contract with the City of Barberton since probably about June of last year. So we're getting pretty close to a year of that happening. They've been having real struggle to hire a building official out there, which is unfortunately not unusual. The entire state is having an issue finding certain certified personnel. We're having the same issue with plans examiners, for example. But at this point, Norton has reached out to us, and we're in negotiations with them. One of the things that they did request and that we are agreeing with is we're going to establish a satellite office, building permits office in the city of Norton. That will be staffed 3 days a week. We're going to call it the Southern Summit County Permitting Office, and that way other jurisdictions, Greene, New Franklin, they can come to that office if they don't want to come to our location on Talmadge Avenue here on the other side of the building. So we're currently working with the city on making that happen. We're looking to take over building inspections around the 1st of next month. So we will be issuing permits, doing plan reviews, and doing all the inspections for the city of Norton. And on a personal level, I'm a Norton guy. I grew up in the city of Norton. I was actually third generation for my family to graduate. And now I've had 4 generations graduate from the high school there. So I'm pretty excited about this and really looking forward to serve that community in this capacity. But I do want to say my dad is not as excited because I'm going to keep an eye on him and make sure he pulls permits. So that's where we're at. If you got any questions, I'm here to answer.
Thanks, Mr. Reynolds. And Mr. Reynolds and Mike, it's my understanding within the legislation that the fees that are paid, all the fees will come to the county, correct? There's no splitting with Norton or...
That's correct. There's all the fees, just like all the other communities we're under contract with, all the fees will be collected by the county, and that will be used to staff the department to provide those services.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council? May I have a motion?
I have a question.
Ms.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this will cover some of the communities in southern Summit County, or make the building department from Summit County a little more accessible to them. Where are we at with the possibility of having Barberton join in this?
So next Monday, Barberton City Council, is expected to have their second reading for the same type of agreement. So it was introduced a couple of weeks ago. It's had its first reading. Chris and I appeared in front of Barberton City Council a couple of weeks ago, gave a presentation about the services we provide, the services we have been providing. We have not received any questions to date from their council. They were very receptive when we appeared in front of them, and I expect passage in the next few weeks.
It would be nice to have consistency as much as possible throughout the county on our building codes, so that would be good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion? Ms. Darrow moved on 2026-132. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
And if there's no further business before the Public Works Committee, I will close it at 5:01.
Planning and Economic Development will open at 5:01. We have one item tonight, 2026-133, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a 5-year sublease agreement with the City of Akron for office space located at 1180 South Main Street, Akron, Ohio, 44301, in Council District 4 for base rent and a portion of the operating expenses for the executive and declaring an emergency. Mr. Harnack.
Good afternoon, Brian Harnack, Law Director for the Executive. The City of Akron has been subleasing a portion of the first floor on the Pry Building since late 2020. This represents, and that contract has expired, this represents the new contract with them for another 5 years. Their footprint there is going down a little bit. The base rent's going up a little bit. And more importantly, the new lease now captures some additional operating expenses like the operation of the security station there, the sheriff's office. That was not included in the original lease, so this is a better deal for us.
Okay.
Take
great.
any questions.
Any questions for Brian? Anybody want to move? A motion from Mr. Wilhite on 2026-133. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thanks, Brian. Planning and Economic Development will close at 5:02.
Good evening, Public Safety will open at 5:02. Our first item of business is 2026-134, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service agreement with Summit Psychological Associates Incorporated to provide transitional services for opiate-involved individuals at the jail for the term of 4/1/26 through 12/31/26 in an amount not to exceed $400,000 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Alex Burt, Department of Public Safety. It's exactly what Councilman Lacotte said. It's $400,000 for SPA to continue the reentry program that they are running at the Summit County Jail right now for opiate-involved and mental health individuals. It's a voluntary program inmates can volunteer to participate in, and it's provides case management services upon leaving the jail. They stay with the same case manager for up to 3 months, ensuring that they show up to their appointments for mental health or opioid or substance use or whatever it is that they need. They get them connected with family members and sober support systems. They also get them enrolled in Medicaid if they are not already enrolled, all of that kind of stuff. So it's just to continue it through the end of this year. We're working on behavioral health RFP right now to hopefully put it all under one agreement by the end of the year.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Councilman Wilhite.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The new position we just approved for the Sheriff's Department at the jail, I'm assuming that individual or those two individuals will have interaction with current folks and then also in this new planning process you're going to do?
Correct, yeah. I would imagine so. I don't exactly know what all of those positions are, but I would imagine they will interact because SPA is the mental health provider, at least right now at the jail. So,
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Other questions from council? May I have a motion?
So,
Ms. Darrow? We have a motion on 2026-134. Excuse me. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. 2026-135, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of change order number 2 to purchase contract with Everest LLC, doing business as EverHealth for on-site drug screening testing services from 12/15/24 through 12/14/25, with an amount not to exceed $16,919.90 for a cumulative increase of 37.84%, for a total amount not to exceed $297,485.90 for the Court of Common Pleas General Division, Adult Probation Department, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. David Magora, Summit County Court of Common Pleas. We are asking for another change order for our drug testing that's conducted in our probation department on site. It covers drug testing for our probation population, specialty docket participants, and we did exceed our total contract amount for our previous contract, and we're asking for a roughly $17,000 increase, and it'll close out that prior year's contract. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the committee? Questions from council?
So you guys, this is like the maybe third time you guys have come before us because you've outdone your contract by quite a bit. Are you rewriting these for next fiscal year so we're not doing this again?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the current contract is a little closer to this amount.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? May I have a motion? Motion, Mr. Wilhite? Or, I'm sorry, Ms. Darrow. Mrs. Darrow. Mr. Ford. All of them. Mr. Ford, go with Mr. Ford. It's by committee, right? Now I've thrown myself on 2026-135. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Our last item of business, 2026-136, a resolution authorizing the executive to sign an intergovernmental direct indictment program agreement with the City of Barberton from 5/1/2026 through 12/31/26, with 4 options to renew for an additional 1-year term at the amounts set forth below for the prosecutor and declaring an emergency.
The prosecutor's office has a direct indictment program, so we work with the different communities, so individuals, there's no preliminary hearing. The cases are worked from the municipality to the prosecutor's office. We've set up a new pricing model so that it's kind of a per case instead of a flat fee. Some of the communities were concerned that they were subsidizing another community. So Barberton actually left the program, was doing preliminary hearings, and our executive office negotiated. We got Barberton back in, and so we're hoping to move forward.
Your boss did most of the negotiation. We just put the numbers together.
So any questions on the direct indictment program? This will be for renewal, and then chance for renewals. So, and it's getting Barberton back into the program.
And there should be more of these contracts coming in the near future.
Great. Any questions from the committee? Council?
So moved.
Mr. Schmidt moves on 2026-136. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That will conclude Public Safety Committee at 5:11.
And I'll open up Health and Human Services Committee at 5:11. First item on the agenda is 2026-137, a resolution declaring the month of May 2026 as Myotrophic Lateral Sclerosis Awareness Month in Summit County and encouraging the residents of Summit County to join in this acknowledgement for the executive in declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Rachel Madigan for Executive Shapiro's Department of Administration and Public Information. So May is ALS Awareness Month, and to my knowledge, this is the first time that Summit County has introduced legislation to recognize this. So it was brought to us by a resident from the city of Monroe Falls. His name is Brandon Evans. Mr. Evans is a proud ALS advocate, and he has stated that he's been personally impacted by ALS. So Mr. Evans, he reached out to Councilwoman Bethany McKinney and requested this recognition to honor individuals and families living with ALS and to aid in public education about the realities of this devastating disease. So ALS, also commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive fatal neurodegenerative disease in which a person's brain loses connection with their muscles, slowly reducing a person's ability to walk, talk, eat, and eventually breathe. So it stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Amyotrophic means no muscle nourishment, so your muscles they're being starved to death. That shrinks them. Lateral is the place on the spinal cord where the nerve cells are that control movement. And sclerosis just means scarring or hardening, which occurs when these nerve pathways degenerate. So I always think learning about what the individual words mean really helps me remember. So the nerve cells, they shrink, and it causes the person to progressively lose the ability to control their muscles. 10% of cases are inherited through a mutated gene, but 90% of cases have no known family history of genetic cause. Veterans are more likely to get ALS, but no one is sure what environmental factor experienced in military service might contribute to that. There are an estimated 35,000 people in the U.S. living with ALS, with about 5,000 new cases diagnosed every year, or 1 case every 90 minutes. And unfortunately, every 90 minutes, someone passes away from ALS as well. Upon diagnosis, average life expectancy is just 2 to 5 years. There is no cure, but there are treatments to attempt to slow its progression and improve quality of life. However, the annual estimated out-of-pocket cost for care is $250,000 every year. Much of this information is from the ALS Association. They provide resources for people living with ALS, and they are the largest philanthropic funder of ALS research globally. There are currently 7 drugs approved to treat it, and the ALS Association's research is directed to learning more about ALS, developing new treatments, and ultimately finding a cure for the thousands of people living with ALS or who will develop it in the future. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions.
Any questions from members of council? May I have a motion? A motion from Councilwoman McKinney. All those in council as a whole? So we have a motion for we have a motion from Councilwoman McKinney. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks.
2026-138, a resolution declaring the month of May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Summit County and encouraging the residents of Summit County to join in this acknowledgement for the executive and declaring an emergency.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month. Tiara and I are here to provide a brief update on the work of the Summit County Trauma-Informed Care Coalition. But before we do that, I want to take a moment to speak why this work matters. Across Summit County and communities nationwide, there's a growing understanding that mental health cannot be separated from the experiences people carry with them. Trauma is not rare. It does not come from one source. It can include violence, loss, grief, substance use in the home, chronic stress, community violence, system inequity, or the ongoing experience of feeling unsafe, unseen, or unsupported. Trauma does not always look the way we expect. It may show up in a child who cannot focus in school, a coworker who seems withdrawn, a neighbor who is quick to anger, a friend who stops answering calls, or a parent who is simply overwhelmed. Often what we see on the outside is only a small part of what someone is carrying. We know from both research and our local data that trauma is connected to many of the challenges we are working so hard to address. Substance use, mental health crisis, school outcomes, workforce stress, and the involvement of the justice system can both be the cause and result of traumatic experiences. This sometimes feel like an uphill battle. But the hopeful part is when we understand trauma, we can respond with empathy instead of judgment and work collaboratively to move forward. This is what trauma-informed care is really about. It shifts us from asking what's wrong with you to what happened to you. And even further, what supports you need to heal and thrive. Creating a trauma-informed community makes us stronger. It helps our schools, workplaces, neighborhoods, courts, health systems, community organizations become places where people feel safe, respected, and connected. When people feel seen and supported, they're more likely to ask for help, stay engaged, recover, and contribute. This work is not just for clinicians or service providers. It belongs to all of us as leaders, neighbors, coworkers, family members, and community partners. A more empathetic community is a more resilient community, and with this perspective, we're building systems to be able to respond with compassion, safety, trust, and dignity, the core tenets of trauma-informed care. We are creating conditions for healing not just as individuals, but the whole county. And I'll let Tiara talk a little bit about some of the work we've made with the coalition.
Good evening, Council. Tiara Moore of the Office of Public Information. So the Trauma-Informed Care Coalition has now had 3 intensive planning meetings with strong participation and engagement from our community partners and some community members as well. On our first meeting, we reviewed the assessment, examined its recommendations, and then came up with some ideas through a brainstorming process. In our second meeting, we took the brainstorming ideas we had and we identified top-ranking themes and used a voting exercise to rank short and long-term goals for each prior to the prioritization buckets we identified. And in our last meeting, we began turning those short and long-term goals into concrete action steps. So our next phase is to develop an implementation plan that will guide the work moving forward and help ensure the coalition's ideas become coordinated, sustainable action. So we'll be keeping you all updated as we move into our implementation process. And now I'm going to pass it to our partners with ADM to talk a little bit more about what they're doing to address the mental health in our community.
Good evening, Amy Woodland, Communications Manager at the County of Summit ADM Board. As always, just want to come and say thank you so much for all of your support. We are forever grateful for the recognition for Mental Health Awareness Month, especially in light of some of the bigger challenges we are seeing throughout the county. Also, in gratitude to the partners that allowed this to be come to fruition. But on Tuesday, we are hosting our grand opening ribbon cutting for the Dr. Fred Freeze Residential Step-Down Treatment Center, and hope that we will see some of you, if not all of you, there with us in Sagamore Hills as we usher in this transitional housing but in honor of an incredible human being that I have had the privilege of learning so much about the last few months. Dr. Fred Fries, for those of you who are not familiar, lived in Hudson, so he was a Summit County resident. He was a psychiatrist, and he was a person with schizophrenia. He was involuntarily committed to hospitalization numerous times throughout his career and his life, and ended up becoming the individual who oversaw the psychiatric wing at the state hospital. So we are exceptionally proud of the work that this residential treatment center step-down unit is poised to do for our community with 16 beds, but in particular in honor of Dr. Fries and the legacy that he leaves behind. And I would be remiss if I did not segue into a formal invitation for us to join us at the Recovery Challenge at IBH's Addiction Recovery Main Campus on June 6th. We love having you all there. So we are excited to see this year our partners come out. Are there any questions for what we're working on right now or anything in collaboration with public health?
Any questions from committee? Any questions from council? Council as a whole? Yes. May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Lacotte. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you again.
2026-139, a resolution declaring the month of May 2026 as Foster Care Month in the County of Summit and encouraging residents to join in this acknowledgement and consider the importance of foster care in their community for the executive and declaring an emergency.
Good evening. Thank you for your continued support of Summit County Children's Services. My name is Tracy Foley. I'm the Department Director of Placement Services at the agency. Summit County Children's Services is committed to the safety, permanency, and well-being of all children served in partnership with families and the community. May is National Foster Care Month. It's a time to recognize and celebrate the important role that members from all parts of child-serving agencies play in supporting children, families, youth, and particularly our foster families. During the month of May, it's important for us to show our appreciation to those foster families who are present for the kids in Summit County and who open up their hearts and homes as they deserve our praise and support. In Summit County, we have served as an agency at Children's Services 1 out of every 13 children last year. This totals 8,574 children. And there were 8,942 intake calls to our 24/7 child abuse and neglect hotline. There are nearly 800 children in the custody and care of Summit County Children's Services, and at about 40% of those children are placed with relative or kinship families. We certainly need foster families. Summit County Children's Services continues to recruit and retain foster families for children in need of foster placement. We currently have approximately 118 foster families, which is certainly not enough to support over that 800 children who we have in custody, even if 40% are with family. We strive to keep sibling groups together, keeping them in their own school districts and in their neighborhoods whenever we can. Foster families are needed for all kinds of youth, including infants, teenagers, and as I mentioned, sibling groups. Foster parents provide loving care for children placed in their homes, working to create the best environment for children where they can feel safe and they can thrive. They are a critical part of our team, working with biological families to help them in their efforts with reunification. We are asking the community to join in the acknowledgement declaring May as Foster Care Month and consider the importance of foster care in Summit County. Once again, I thank you for your support during the month of May, Foster Care Month. Are there any questions?
Any questions from members of committee? Councilwoman McKinney?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know that it's always a struggle to find foster care families. Is there something that you see that we are doing that seems to be effective in recruiting foster care families? Like, can you give an example of something that we are doing or can do better in that realm?
What I feel we've done more recently is we've really leveraged our more tenured foster families to help us recruit. So
Okay.
we particularly have contracted more recently with one of our foster parents. She's going out into the community. She's talking with folks who are interested, providing her take on her experience. She's providing training, I should say. It's really based on her experience as a foster parent and caregiver, and helping spread that word, because we're finding the word of mouth, from foster parent to interested individual who becomes then a foster parent it's better than any kind of recruitment that we can do. But it's that grassroots effort too of getting out there in the community and talking to people.
Great. Well, I can see where that would be effective. If you don't mind, I know we're close to being through our agenda. I do have an individual question that I received from a resident today regarding foster care, if I could see you after class. Okay.
Sure. No
All right,
problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions from members of committee or council? As council as a whole?
Yes, please.
May I have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion from Councilwoman McKinney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last item on the agenda, 2026-140, a resolution declaring the month of May 2026 as Older Americans Month in Summit County, recognizing the contributions of older adults in Summit County and encouraging residents and professionals to participate in the Age-Friendly Akron Summit Initiative and the 2026 Senior Summit Conference and Expo for the executive and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Councilman Ford. Lisa Mansfield from County Executive Shapiro's Department of Administration and Public Information. I want to thank you and Council for your commitment to older adults in our community. It's a long-standing one. With May being Older Americans Month, this year we're marking that with not just one event, but two, to bring that commitment to life. So this Wednesday, we're going to host the 2026 Senior Summit Expo at St. George's on Ridgewood in Fairlawn. The expo is going to kick us off with doors opening at 9 a.m. We know our seniors will be early for that, and so recommend that if you're planning to come, take your time. There's no reason to be there too early. We're going to take care of you. From the moment those seniors walk in, they're going to find something there for them. Live music with seniors who will be performing that music as well. Breakfast, lunch, and a room full of providers from healthcare, legal, government, cultural, all under one roof and specifically there to serve seniors. But it's more than just the resources, because this year's expo includes educational sessions that seniors can really use. How to stay in their homes longer with home modifications shared by the Summit County Department of Development and Habitat for Humanity, and safety thanks to the Summit County Prosecutor's Office. How to navigate Medicare and Medicaid and all the changes that are going on there, and how to protect themselves from scams. How to plan for end of life in a way that brings peace and not panic. And also for some great fun, there's going to be a session with the Akron Grigot Project, because our seniors' stories are important and they should be told and celebrated. Then on Friday, our focus is going to shift to the professionals who serve older adults across our county. Social workers, nurses, attorneys, healthcare providers are going to all gather for the Senior Summit Conference to earn continuing education credits and CLEs, sharpen their skills and hone best practices that they bring to our community and our seniors every day. The resolution today notes that by 2030, older adults will account for more than 30% of Summit County's population. That's not a distant number at this point. I remember when we first started talking about that, it seemed like a long time from now, but it's not. That accounts for our parents, our neighbors, our friends, and eventually ourselves. Seniors are the backbone of our communities. Senior Summit Expo is one way that we say to them, we see you, we value you, and this community is built for you. We hope to see you there, and we hope the citizens will come out for a great turnout on Wednesday. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from members of committee? Members of council?
Just a quick question.
Sure.
Can you send us all a graphic to our emails, Mark, that we can share just through social media, so make sure we're doing our part to spread the word?
Appreciate that.
Good idea.
I keep telling Joe Catalano to get ready for more people. We were up over 600 people pre-registered as of when I got here. So over those 2 days right now, we're planning on feeding and seeing over 1,000 individuals in those 2 days.
Do they need to be pre-registered?
I would love it if they can register before 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, but if they don't and they walk in, we're going to prepare for some extras because post-COVID, this is the biggest crowd we've ever had pre-register, so we're going to be ready.
Well, maybe we can do a reminder tonight, so, yeah.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Any other questions? Council as a whole, may I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Cation. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. If there's no further business, I'll close Health and Human Services at 5:30.
I'll open Finance Committee at 5:30, Resolution 2026-141, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Ward and Associates for appraisal services for the valuation of commercial, industrial, and exempt buildings considered new or altered in land splits of the same classification for the 2026 real estate tax year in an amount not to exceed $171,300 for the fiscal officer and declaring an emergency.
Hi, Dominic Basile, Director of Real Estate and Appraisal with the Fiscal Office. This is a professional services agreement that we would like to enter into with Ward and Associates for the evaluation of all commercial, industrial, and exempt property types deemed to have had new or altered construction. This is the typical annual new construction contract that we have historically entered into with Ward and Associates, and this one would cover any new construction occurring during 2025, which would be taxable in 2026. And
Thank you, Mr. Basile. Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council? Do I have a motion? So moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
Okay. And I approve it as well. So, okay. If there's no further business before the Finance Committee, who's practically not here, we will adjourn at 5:32.
Thank you.
I wonder how Don wasn't hearing that. I was like, why is nobody talking?